Hi guys, welcome to Dragon's Cave. My name's Karen. I'm going to be doing some silicone inlays today, and I'm slowly but surely creeping closer to 1,000 subscribers. So when we get there, I'll give you details of how to enter, but the prize will be a set of inlays. I'm making 2 different sets of dragons, a set of butterflies and bees. I have a set of owls, or I will have. There will also be the seashells, etc. And if I've got enough resin left, I've got these brilliant Halloween type ones as well. So kind of cute. This is like an anatomical heart with flowers. Hopefully you can see that. So yeah, I've got 5 grams each of the what is it, Res Chimica Silicone R Pro 10. It's a 12 shore hardness, which means they're nice and flexible. So let's crack on and get this mixed. I have 40 minutes working time with this, which sounds like a lot, but it really isn't when you're doing something this detailed. So yeah, you'll have, if you win the giveaway for 1,000 subscribers, you'll have the choice of which inlays you'd like to have. And if I've already used them, I'll make you some new ones, obviously. Right. Just a case of mixing these together until you can't see any more white streaks in it. It mixes quite quickly, degasses very, very easily. I'm not going to show you all of them in process because they are quite fiddly, a lot of them. I'll probably just do the owls on film and then get everything else done off, and then show you them all as I take them out of off the stamps. Where's my tissue gone? Oh, I'm having one of those days. Just had a bit of an issue with a flood in my garage as well, so that was not fun, as you can probably imagine. So I'm not way behind where I had hoped to be. So let's move these out of the way and get the owls into view. You may have seen me do a couple of these on the previous video. Bring you down a little bit so you can see better. Move my chair. Here we go. These are quite fiddly, but they're worth it because they come out so well. It's definitely worth taking the time. So, oops, here we go. I'm going to have to wipe that off already. I did think maybe I should use a pipette for this, but then that would pick up too much silicone at a time, and I would end up with even more of a mess to clean off the actual stamps. As you can see, I'm not filling them immediately. I'm just putting some in, let it run out to the edges a little, so that it gets into all the nooks and crannies. But this silicone is very, very good for degassing itself. I've been very fortunate that even with the tiniest ones, I've not had an issue with bubbles in any of them that I've made so far. hoping that you can see what I'm doing. I am, unfortunately, after all the exertion, trying to clean up that mess this morning. My back is killing me, so I couldn't stand up and lean over the desk to be able to do this. This one is nearly full, so I'm just going to make sure it's right out to the edges. And actually, I've slightly overfilled that one, so take a little bit out. Not on this one. As you can probably see, they are pretty detailed. I'm hoping you can see how detailed they are. Push this out to the edges there. I was just going to drop a little more silicone in, but then I thought, if I do that, I'm going to end up like this one where I have to do cleanup and take some out again. Oops. There you go. I say one thing and I start doing something different. Just need to push it, make sure it's out into all the little edges and corners. As you probably can see, this one has gone over because it hasn't gone out into the wings, so I'm going to have to do a little clean up on that before it starts setting. Obviously these are seal stamps. They're not actually designed for putting silicone in, but they do work really, really well for silicone. Now I think I need to get something slightly pointier, so I'll just get my what is it, cocktail stick, yes, so that I can get this right out to the edges. And once it's reached the edges, I can see then whether or not I need to fill in or put any more silicone in there. In it again. It's right up to the edges. I do need to do a little bit of cleanup, as I said. This one is going to be a pain. It was last time I did it, to be fair, because of the different depths. In the wings and in the body and the envelope. So I've got that up to the edges. I'm going to leave that sit, and then I'll clean up the excess, same as I'll do with this one. This one I think probably will need to go over the whole rather than just have the outline, simply because of the way it's set. So you can kind of see what I've done. I'm going to leave you with that, and then I will come back to you when we're ready to get them out and give some of them a go. See you in a bit. Hey guys, these are set and ready to come out now. I didn't manage to do them all because I was too slow and the mix started setting, so some of these probably won't be that great, but I'm going to start with the easy ones. Just very gently ease it away from the edge. So, let me see if I can get this to focus for you. There you go. That is gorgeous. I didn't manage to do this one again because I broke it trying to clean it up a little before taking it out of the mould. So I will make all the ones that I had ready last time, but detail, let me just see if I can focus in better. Yeah. The detail is absolutely brilliant on them. I'll get some good photos later when I've got them all out. There again. Pop these. I'm just popping them onto a sheet of plastic at the side here so that they don't kind of fold up and go weird. Now I know this one's not easy to get out because I've done it before. Gently try and prise it away from the edge of the mold, the stamp, the engraved part. I get there in the end. Here we go. Started to loosen. But it is very delicate, so because these are very, very thin, obviously, you need to be careful not to tear them. Gently, gently, gently. I need to get this wing loosened before I get the rest of that out. Now it's the dragons that I expect to be not that great because of the silicone starting to cure before I got to them. Here we go. We got there in the end. Pretty little owl. So I'm going to get the rest of these out. Let me see. Let's try the dragons because I don't expect them to be very good. So they were, resin was curing before I could, silicone was curing before I could get to them because I faffed about too much. Very, very careful with this one because it's got very thin ring around it. It's already curled over on itself. But I'll probably remove that ring around the outer edge. The dragon itself is actually turned out pretty well. Here we go, another dragon. Because of the detail and they are very thin, you do have to be very, very careful getting them out. Here we go. Oops. Folding it over on itself as I'm trying to lay it on the plastic. I'll probably speed up through this for you anyway, but let's see how we get on. So of course, if you decide you want the dragon, if you win the 1,000 subscriber giveaway and you want the dragons, obviously you'll get a set that's not torn and broken. But they are quite delicate, so do bear that in mind when you decide which ones you want. So I've got these on here so far. Where am I now? Oh yes, butterflies and bees. Okay, so I'm going to get these out, and I am actually going to make something. I do need to cut it there because editing software doesn't like anything over 15 minutes. So I'll get these out and I will show you a picture of it all done at the end. But also, I want to move on to making something, and I will see you very soon. Bye. Hey guys, back again. So decided I'm going to go with this owl. Looks very grumpy. There you go. Very grumpy owl. So I'm going to pop them in here. But obviously, first of all, I need to get my UV resin in. Assuming I can get the lid off. Oh, here we go. It's going to be one of those days. We need a layer of UV down. Obviously, I need to leave some space because there will be a backing coat going on there. Find my little pokey stick. Sorry, this isn't focusing, is it? There we go. That's better. So this is all the way up to the edges. And that any bubbles in there are pulled away from the edge. You need to be careful not to scratch the mold when you do this. I use a long neck lighter to kind of burst any surface bubbles. And I think we got them all. So let's get Mr. Grumpy Owl out. Now the best thing to do really, I could figure out what I just did with my little stick, is to actually pop some UV on top of here to stop any bubbles getting trapped. So I'm just going to just pop a little drop on there. Put the lid on there. Give it a gentle, there's something stuck to that. Give it a tease around in the detail. Prevent any bubbles getting trapped in little bits. Because it's got quite a lot of detail on there, so you don't want to spoil it by getting air bubbles trapped in it. Get that off, whatever that is. No, must be in the silicone. Okay, so I'm going to very gently put this on top. You need it to float, obviously, because otherwise you're never going to get it out of there. So push it to where I want it to be. And give it a quick zap, just to make sure it's held in place before popping it under the UV light. Just give it a quick few seconds with the UV torch. So it kind of forms a skin on the UV resin. before putting it under the light, because then that should get it to stay in place. That should be sufficient. It's a pretty good light. So I'm now going to pop this into my light, and I will be back when we're ready for the next part. See you in a sec. Bye. Okay guys, this is set now, so I'm just going to carefully take the inlay out of the resin. And I hope that you can see how brilliant that impression is on there. So the next stage is my little pot. So I want to paint the owl with mica powder, but I know this powder flies something terrible, so I'm going to put a little drop of isopropyl alcohol into my cup just to wet the brush. And I'm using this copper colour, which I'm hoping is going to look very nice. And I just realised I haven't actually opened this pot. Why do I do this to myself? Honestly. Okay, I can't get the plastic off that, but I have got another pot here which I have previously opened. So I'm going to do that one instead. This is a set I got from Temu. But I really do like this copper, although looking at it now, I'm really liking these golds. No, stick with the copper. Mainly because I have previously opened the container. It means I don't have to fuss too much. So I'm just using a very fine paintbrush. Now, just going to get a tiny bit of powder on the tip of the brush because I really don't want to go outside the inlay. I'll speed up through this because it's going to take me a little while. Okay, so that's the best I can do from this angle. I'm going to switch the camera off for a second while I tidy it all up, make sure it's completely covered, and I will be right back. See you in a sec. Okay, it's finally painted and done. So I was going to go with black behind it, but I kind of thought I'd like to do something a bit different. So I'm going to use this blue instead. And I'm probably going to add a little bit of sparkle into it, just because. Everybody loves a bit of sparkle. I do. I just hate it when somebody says everybody loves this, because it's really not true. My husband watches a lot of cookery programs and they always say things like, oh, everybody loves this. And I'm thinking, no, actually they don't, because I hate Brussels sprouts. And most of the people I know do. But I'm waffling again. Wouldn't worry too much about it. I do all the time. Tiniest bit of sparkle in there. Let me tap a little bit off onto the mould as well. So obviously, because this colour is going to be pretty opaque, I do need to do it in layers. Main thing is to make sure that it's properly all mixed in. Got no lumps of anything in there. Now I have got a window right in front of me, so I also need to be fairly quick with this. It kind of look like a night sky rather than actual black. So here we go. Let's start with dropping it into the middle there. I've gone a little bit too far, I think, with the amount of powder in here, but I have got the Let Resin double-sided lamp, which is pretty fierce. So I'm just going to see and get that out into the edges. Doesn't matter if it goes over, and it almost certainly will, but I want to make sure that I've got this done and covered. There you go. It's going over. That's good. And the copper powder that I put in the actual inset piece is does tend to float a little bit. I'm just going to do that very thin layer for now, and I'm going to get the other layers on, and I will be back with you when we're ready for the demold. See you shortly. So we're 4 layers later, and we're ready to come out of the mold. A bit untidy around the edges at the back, but I'll clean that up. Very carefully pull that out. Oh, look at that. Isn't he amazing? I'm really, really happy with how that turned out. So I'll get a hook into it, I'll get a chain on, I'll get you some photos at the end, but I am absolutely thrilled with how well that came out. Hope you enjoyed it. Give us a thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed, please do, because as soon as we hit that 100,000 subscribers, 100,000, ho ho, in my dreams, 1,000 subscribers, there will be a giveaway for the inlays, and you can choose which set you want. I'll get the dragons remade, and I've got a few others that I want to make up as well. So you'll have the choice of which set you have, and I will see you all very, very soon. Bye.